I really like the Apostle Paul. We'll talk more about that later. He was once stated as saying, we give no offense to anyone. That way our ministry may not be blamed. What does that mean? Let's make it applicable. Let's say you're at work, you don't like a coworker. Let's say this coworker is fat. This is a very important detail right here. Why is that important? Because let's say you work somewhere where there are a lot of overweight people. You're talking about this coworker justly, right? And you slip out fat, somebody else fat, 2 or 3 people that are also fat, hear you venting about this coworker, they get offended. So now you might be in the right for venting. You might actually be right about this character, but because you offended those around you, your words fall on deaf ears, and now you are the blame. Now you are the problem. It's the same thing with getting people to receive you as a person on social media, right? As a fitness person, you can be dogging people out. Get your fat butt to the gym. Your mama, your daddy, your grandma, your husband, your wife, they are not going to tell you the truth because they don't want to offend you, right? And then you can get somebody online to call you fat. They can have all the actual knowledge in the world, be as shredded as they want to be, more shredded than you've ever been, and you're still going to reject the knowledge because of delivery. Why should people actually care about how they deliver the truth? It's because when you really want people to receive it, bro, you got to understand that people are sensitive. People will reject actual knowledge if you don't package it right. That's just the nation that we live in, bro. The Apostle Paul understood that. I understand that. I can still come off as offensive sometimes. Sometimes I don't care. You know what I mean? Because it's social media and people trying to mold you to be something that, what? Are you paying me? You know what I mean? Are you my PR team? You know what I mean? Yes, representing yourself is one thing, but let's think about the takeaway here is this. People will literally force you to conform to a niche like a robot. And when you are speaking consciousness, when you do see things differently, that's not something that you're going to necessarily be okay with. You create the niche, the outsider forces you to stay in that bubble or they lose interest. This is all mind control. This is us policing other people. And then as individuals, we police ourselves for the people policing us so we keep their attention. When you are conscious and you got a perspective, you know that. So you deviate from that control. That's why I do what I do. Duh. But in today's society, like Paul said, bro, you don't want to offend nobody because you don't want to come to blame. When you start offending people, people start looking for fault in you. And I've actually seen that. These are usually weak-minded, weak-spirited people, honestly. Why would you care about what somebody thinks of you who you don't even know? They ain't paying your bills. They ain't paying you nothing. You don't make love to them. They don't love you. You don't know them. You never ate dinner with them. You never been over their crib, never celebrated a holiday, but you're offended? That's crazy. But people are. This is how people are. So you have to be conscious like the Apostle Paul. You don't want to come to blame. You don't want to be offensive. That's some of the biggest game any apostle could give anybody on the planet. That right there, we don't offend anyone. So our ministry doesn't come to blame. We don't want those to reject us. The righteous knows that he who has an ear to hear and eyes to see will hear and see, right? But the super conscious righteous understand that it might suck, but you have to be adaptable. You got to be adaptable enough to not turn people away from the truth, because the truth hurts. And you have to figure out how to deliver the truth in the way that somebody can receive it with as little as pain as they possibly can, because as you know, people run from pain. If I take you through a workout right now, you're going to run from it, especially being out of shape. Your mind's probably going to break first before your body. People are mentally weak and spiritually weak. So if you don't want your ministry, your word, your content, your character to come to blame, live a life that is offenseless. But if you're going to live your whole life like that, you're going to be exhausted from trying to be appeasing everybody. And God tells you, don't be trying to please people. If you go around trying to please too many people, well, you end up compromising yourself and displeasing God. I'm gone.